Hey everybody, Byte here, Two-Factor Authentication, you know it, you might even love it, but are you 100% sure it's keeping your account safe? Let's be real for a second, okay? While 2FA is a great first step, and I do mean it is important to use, it's not some impenetrable fortress around your data. There are cracks in the system, loopholes hackers can exploit to completely bypass even the strongest 2FA setups. Scary stuff, right? Don't worry, that's what I'm here for. In this video we're diving deep into the world of 2FA bypasses. We'll be taking a look at the sneaky tactics hackers use, from phishing to SIM swapping and even malware, to crack those precious 2FA codes. And it wouldn't be a Byte video if I didn't show you how to fight back, right? We'll equip you with the knowledge and tools you need to level up your security game and keep those pesky hackers at bay. So buckle up, hit that subscribe button and smash that like button while you're at it, because things are about to get interesting. Alright, let's kick things off with everyone's favorite internet pastime, phishing. It's like the digital version of phishing, but instead of catching fish, they're trying to catch you. You know the drill, you get an email, maybe a text, maybe even a DM on that social media platform your aunt refuses to stop tagging you in cat pictures on, and it looks totally legit. It's almost like they know exactly how to get your attention. It might even be from a company you trust, like your bank or, I don't know, your favorite tech YouTuber. They're getting really good at mimicking these trusted sources. These messages, they're designed to scare you, to pressure you, to trick you into clicking a link or handing over your login credentials. They play on your emotions, making you think you need to act fast. And here's the kicker, even with 2FA enabled, if you fall for a well-crafted phishing attack, you might as well hand your account over to the hackers on a silver platter. It's like having a lock on your door, but giving away the key. See, here's how they do it. They create a fake login page, an exact replica of the real deal. You wouldn't even know the difference, it's scary good. It's like looking at a mirror image. You enter your username, your super secret password, and boom, the phishing site grabs that information faster than you can say, wait, something's fishy. It's almost instantaneous. But you're probably thinking, Linus, I have 2FA enabled. They can't get in without the code. And you'd be right, which is why this is where it gets really devious. They've thought of everything. The phishing site, it's still not done with you. See, it's waiting for you to enter that 2FA code. It's like a predator waiting for its prey. You get the text message, punch in the digits on the fake site, thinking you're one step ahead of the bad guys, and bam! You've just handed them the keys to the kingdom. It's a classic bait and switch. Now you're probably thinking, okay Linus, that's terrifying and all, but how do I dodge these phishing torpedoes? How do I stay safe in this digital ocean? Well, I'm glad you asked. The first line of defense is simple. Always, and I mean always, double check the URL before you even think about typing in your login details. It's your first shield against these attacks. Is it the official website? Are there any weird misspellings? If something seems off, trust your gut, close the page, and report it. Better safe than sorry. And hey, I know remembering a million different URLs isn't exactly fun. That's where a good password manager comes in handy. It's like having a digital bodyguard. Not only do they store your passwords securely, but they can also help you sniff out those fake websites. They're like your personal detective. See, they're smart, these password managers. They know the real deal from the shady knockoffs. They're trained to spot the fakes. If a password manager doesn't automatically fill in your credentials, it's a major red flag. It's like a warning sign flashing in your face. Look, phishing, it's a numbers game for these hackers. They're casting a wide net, hoping someone bites. They're playing the odds. But by being vigilant, by checking those URLs, and by using a password manager, you make yourself a much smaller target. You're making it harder for them to reel you in. Alright, now let's talk about something a little more, shall we say, aggressive SIM swapping. This one's not for the faint of heart, and honestly it's the kind of thing that keeps me up at night. It's a bit more complex than your average phishing scam, but let me tell you, the results can be absolutely devastating. SIM swapping, it's all about social engineering, about convincing your mobile carrier to, well, swap your phone number onto a different SIM card. I know, it sounds crazy, right? Why would anyone in their right mind do that? Well, that's where the hackers come in. They do their homework, these hackers. They dig up information about you, maybe from those data breaches you hear about all the time, piecing together a profile they can use against you. Then, armed with your personal information, they contact your mobile carrier, pretending to be you. They spin a convincing story. Maybe they've lost their phone, maybe it's damaged, whatever it takes to convince the carrier to transfer your number to their SIM card. And if they succeed, well, it's game over. They now have control of your phone number, which means they also have control of your 2FA codes. Those text messages, those authentication apps that rely on your phone number, they're all compromised. It's a scary thought, right? Your phone, the device you rely on for so much, suddenly becomes the weakest link in your security chain. But don't worry, there are ways to protect yourself from SIM swapping attacks. It's all about making it much harder for these hackers to succeed. First and foremost, you need to lock down your mobile account. Contact your carrier, set up a strong PIN or password, and for the love of all that is good in this world, don't use your birthday or something easily guessable. This extra layer of security makes it much harder for hackers to impersonate you. But here's the real kicker: ditch SMS-based 2FA whenever possible. Seriously, this is probably the most important piece of advice I can give you. Instead of relying on those text messages, switch to an Authenticator app that doesn't rely on your phone number. There are tons of great options out there, like Google Authenticator or Authy, and they generate those time-based codes without ever needing to send a single text message. Now I know what you're thinking, Linus, you're making me paranoid, but trust me, a little bit of paranoia can go a long way in the digital world. By taking these steps, by securing your mobile account and ditching SMS-based 2FA, you make yourself a much less appealing target for SIM swappers. Stay vigilant and stay safe. Alright, let's move on to the final boss of two-factor authentication bypasses, malware, and session hijacking. These are the heavy hitters in the world of cyber threats. This is where things get really technical, but don't worry, I'll break it down for you in simple terms. Malware, as you probably know, is like the common cold of the internet. It's incredibly common and can be quite disruptive. It's everywhere, and it comes in all shapes and sizes, from viruses to trojans to spyware. Each type has its own unique way of causing havoc. And guess what? Hackers love to use malware to bypass two-factor authentication. It's one of their favorite tools. It's like their secret weapon, their way of sneaking past your defenses and snatching your accounts right from under your nose. It's both clever and dangerous. See, some malware is designed specifically to target two-factor authentication. It's built to find and exploit weaknesses. It's sneaky, it's sophisticated, and it can completely compromise your security, even if you're doing everything else right. It's a constant game of cat and mouse. One way malware can bypass two-factor authentication is through something called session hijacking. This method is particularly insidious. It's a bit technical, but bear with me. I'll explain it as clearly as possible. When you log into a website, your browser creates a session. This session is like a temporary pass. It's like a digital handshake, a way for the website to remember who you are without you having to log in every single time. It's convenient but can be risky. And guess what? Malware can hijack that session. It can take over that temporary pass. It can steal that digital handshake, that cookie that identifies you to the website, and use it to access your account, even if you have two-factor authentication enabled. It's a sneaky trick. It's like someone stealing your car keys while you're still driving. It's that invasive and dangerous. Now, you're probably thinking, okay, you've officially scared the living daylights out of me. What can I do to protect myself? How do I protect myself from this digital nightmare? It's a valid concern. Don't worry, it's not all doom and gloom. There are effective measures you can take. There are ways to fight back against malware and session hijacking. You can take control of your digital security. First and foremost, you need to practice good digital hygiene. It's essential. It's like washing your hands, but for your computer. Regular maintenance is key. Don't download files or click links from unknown sources. Be cautious. Seriously, if you don't know where it came from, don't click it. It's not worth the risk. And for the love of all that is holy, keep your device and antivirus software updated. It's crucial. Those updates, they're not just for show. They are vital for your security. They often contain security patches that fix vulnerabilities hackers could exploit. Think of them as your digital armor. It's like wearing a bulletproof vest in a digital war zone. You need all the protection you can get. But here's the thing. Even the best antivirus software can't catch everything. It's not foolproof. So it's important to be aware of the signs of a compromised device. Stay vigilant. Is your computer running slower than usual? It could be a sign. Are there any strange pop-ups or browser extensions you don't recognize? Be cautious. If something seems off, trust your gut and run a full system scan. It's better to be safe than sorry. So, there you have it, folks. The shocking truth about two-factor authentication bypasses. It's not a perfect system, but hey, what is, right? But by understanding the risks, by being vigilant, And by taking steps to protect yourself, you can make it much harder for hackers to succeed. Remember, it's all about layers of security. Two-factor authentication is a great foundation, but it's not enough on its own. You need to be smart, you need to be proactive, and you need to stay informed. The digital world is a wild place, but with a little bit of knowledge and a healthy dose of caution, you can navigate it safely. Now, go forth and spread the word. Share this video with your friends, your family, your grandma who still uses password as her password. Let's make the internet a safer place, one two-factor authentication protected account at a time. Two-factor authentication is essential, but it's not invincible. Stay alert, use stronger authentication methods, and don't fall for phishing scams. If you found this video helpful, hit that like button, subscribe, and drop a comment below on how you secure your accounts.